Kura team. Well, it was about a year ago. It was last September 2023 when the news came out, and I posted, somewhat controversially, that Cities Skylines 2 on console had been cancelled. A lot of people jumped down my throats and said, no, it's not been cancelled, it's not been cancelled. They just want to do a better job, which is fine. It's fine to do a better job. That they knew this only 2 weeks before it was due to come out was something of a mystery. But anyway, those of you that have been following Cities Skylines 2 since then are probably well up to speed on the situation. A lot of content creators had to ditch Cities Skylines because that was, in some cases, their main income. And they'd built a following, and they were getting ready for Cities Skylines 2. And what came out, described by some as a dumpster fire, was not at all what the community wanted or expected, and it certainly wasn't a cohesive and fully functioning game. You don't need to take my word for that. Go have a look for yourself. So then they said, well, okay, we take that on board and we're going to do some fixes, and they've been working on those fixes, and they said that possibly spring 2024 they would have enough of a build on console to release a console build. A lot of us are kind of glad that didn't happen, because it was quite apparent by spring 2024 that it was still in dreadful condition, didn't work. Many of the things didn't function properly. The graphics were broken, the AI was a mess, the economy didn't seem to work whatsoever. Again, you don't need to take my word for this. You can go and have a look yourself. Go have a look at Biffa Plays Indie Games, Move the Mouse, City Planner Plays, those kinds of people. I'll link their channels down below. So then they said, okay, well, we don't know what we're going to do, but what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the console situation in April of 2024 and hope to review it with a stable output, looking for October 2024 as a possible release date. And obviously it's October 2024. So what do we know so far? Well, they've just released Economy 2.0, which I think is to address a lot of the major issues. As City Planner Plays said, you have to be able to fail. And the economy was set up in such a way that you couldn't fail. You literally couldn't. And he's not the only one that said so. You know, and the reality of games is there needs to be some element of risk, some element of failure. Otherwise, you're walking through something, right? And there's no challenge. And if there's no challenge, there's just boredom. And people would get bored very quick and move on. And that's a lot of what happened. A lot of people were like, this is just a complete disaster. So they've released Economy 2.0. I don't know how that's functioning on PC yet. I haven't really looked at it, and I'm not really sure I want to, because I don't really know what it means for console. Why do I not know what it means for console? Because according to the last official release, which was July this year, they were not going to be able to make a console release in October. And they were going to review the situation again in August with a view to deciding a timeline for exactly when they were going to get Cities Skylines 2 onto the console platforms. And guess what? It's not August, and it ain't September, and we're now into nearly middle of October, and we still don't have any further word on exactly what is happening with Cities Skylines 2 on console. Now, I said that it was cancelled and people jumped down my throats. You know why I said it was cancelled? Because I've been through this before with the game. I've been through this before with a game called Elite Dangerous. And Elite Dangerous actually had a console build and actually had a console market. And they were bringing in an entirely new update. And they kept saying, oh, you know, we're working on it on PC and we'll have something to console. And We'll have something to console, and we're struggling with getting some stuff onto the console, and we're struggling to get some stuff onto the console. And then eventually they came out and said, we are no longer investing in console. Now, I'm not saying that this is Frontier Studios, and I am not saying that this is Elite Dangerous. However, one has to draw some parallels to experiences one has had in the past. This is what we call learning. My experience with this is that this is sitting on the store now, well beyond a year since it first appeared on the store, and it still says, just announced, release coming soon. Now, we don't really know what that means, and I don't really think that they know what it means, and I certainly don't think that Sony know what it means, although Sony is probably a bit annoyed at this stage about what exactly it does or does not mean, given they had to give a whole lot of people money back. So where do we stand? Well, I don't really know, and that's the point of this update. This update is to tell you that there is no update. We are a year down the track. They have promised a lot of things and delivered, well, nothing for the console community. And I know we're not a fantastically big community, but we're not that bad, and we have been known to turn games around before. DayZ in particular, if you follow my channel, and if you also follow some of the content creators, you will know that actually the DayZ community was declining on PC, and they launched it on console. And because it came back out on console, it invigorated the PC community. Are we going to be going through that with Cities Skylines too? I don't really know. I just don't really know. So there you go. Is it cancelled? I have no idea. It might be. It might not be. Is it still a work in progress? That's great. But, you know, so is flying cars. We haven't seen them yet, and they've been in progress for quite some time. And no, I do not mean the trial ones that you see in Abu Dhabi and various other places. I mean Back to the Future. Hey, look, here's a flying car that we promised you way before 2000. Robots in the homes. You know, all kind of crazy things that have been promised to us and never delivered. Probably an unfair parallel. However, what we know is we don't know much. So, I don't know. I just thought I'd update you. It's been a while. It's been a year. And I thought maybe now was the time to jump in and say, hey, whatever happened to Cities Skylines 2 on console? Yeah, whatever did happen to Cities Skylines 2 on console? Well, I don't really know. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll try and keep you posted as much as I can. In the meantime, hit the like button. Do feel free to subscribe to the channel. Go and watch some of my videos about games that actually are available on console and that I am actually playing on console. You might like some of them. If anything comes up, I'll let you know. Until then, ta-ta for now. PlayStation